That's not.
We're live.
Live, not love. I'm ready. Okay, you ready?
Yes, I am. Is that my Wi-Fi? My Wi-Fi is not very good for some reason. How are you doing?
Um, and we are live. This is Haley Means. Joy, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, all right. I'm just checking because you're frozen for me, and I'm just wondering if I'm frozen for you.
You do get frozen, yes. There's a delay.
I um let me see. So I don't hear you well. It's more out than in.
Okay. I didn't change anything that I know of.
I hear you, but it's broken.
Okay. Um,
And I'm wondering if I did something wrong. I don't think so because it says that we're live.
yeah. It could just be my Wi-Fi connection is poor.
Okay, I agree. Yeah, okay, that's what it is. It's probably a delay. Um, do you want to, can we go out and come back in on the
Yeah.
same link, or do you want to just kind of treat this like a video?
I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go out and come back.
Okay, okay,
Okay.
all right, ladies and gentlemen. So this is our attempt at doing a live stream collab. Myself, Healy Means, and I am joined by Joy of the Garden, and we are trying to work this out. There seems to be a delay, and so we're trying to work through this on StreamYard. I definitely appreciate your patience. This might just end up being a test live stream. I don't know, might have to delete this one, y'all, and do another one. But basically, what we wanted to do on this live stream is just introduce ourselves as gardeners, just explain who we are, where we garden, our methods for gardening, just a introduction of ourselves, both me living in gardening in zone 10/11 and then Joy gardening in zone 6. So two very different locations. I'm in California, she's in New York, so literally opposite ends of the coast of the country. Just different time frames to plant, probably planting different things for different reasons. So we were just going to do that. That's the intention of this live stream. We both went out of the live stream and came back to see if that's better for us. There seemed to be a delay when we first started the live stream, so we definitely appreciate your patience. I'm just waiting for Joy to come back in. And while I do that, I guess I'll just tell you a little bit about myself. So, for those of you who, if this is your first time seeing me or the first live stream on my channel, I'm Healy Means. I have a multi-topic or multi-content channel. It started off with natural hair, and then I opened it up to other interests of mine, including gardening. Let's see. Okay, I think I have Joy back.
Can you hear me now?
Hi, Joy. Can
Hi.
you see and hear me?
I can see and hear you, yes. How about you? Still a delay, I see. Mm-hmm.
I think that there is still a delay. Oh, hi. Hi, Nikki. Now, this is a OG Gardner right here. The everyday life of an OCD is chick. Nikki, thank you so much for joining us. And Joy is back in the live stream. We definitely working out some kinks. There
Yep.
seems to be a serious delay. Oh, hi. Okay. So, all right. I hear you, but the video.
The video is what?
So the video is delayed and probably the audio too. Nikki,
Yes.
thank you so much for liking and sharing.
Hi,
I'm not
Nikki.
sure how well this is gonna go, but hey, you don't know until you actually do it. And so
Right.
that's what we're doing right now.
I could try my phone. It's just that I'm a lot quieter on my phone. But I understand. I've done this before. I don't know why there's
Let
such
me
a delay
see.
now.
Okay. All right, Joy, I see you. I see you, but oh wait, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm done. I'm just trying to figure out why. I Other than the low signal on the Wi-Fi, which I restarted, I don't really know what else to do here. Or I can try my phone.
I hear you in and out. What I was trying to do to fill in some time, because if you ever done audio or radio or any kind of live stream or whatever, dead air is a killer.
So let me. I'm gonna go on my. I'm gonna use my phone to come in. Try that.
I hear you in and out. But so Nikki, are you still here? Can you tell us if so do you hear Joy loud and clear? Do you hear me loud and clear? Or what, are there any issues that you see or hear?
Okay, I closed out my other tab. Ah, okay. Well, now what are we gonna do?
I'm not sure. I think I have like a lot of dead space in there, but
So Nikki's saying you're having issues right now, for now. All right. She's gonna redo her thing, and then I can do a little bit of my thing. Let's see. Oh yeah, we were doing just a little overview of who we are and how we got here. Um, I've been into gardening on and off for since the beginning of my life. Basically, my grandmother like grew stuff sporadically, so I got introduced to it there. And then at one point, when I was 9, my uncle owned like a well, he didn't own. He was renting an apartment, and there was a backyard that he asked the landlord if he could grow some stuff in. So he grew some vegetables, and he also got a chicken. Some good core memories there for me because I helped him tend to it was like a bok choy vegetable, and he got it to market, and he gave me 100 pesos off of that, and that was really really something for me, having made that money. Um, and then on and off, like when I came to America, and my parents they lived in a condo and had a rooftop. My stepdad did a few containers of tomatoes on the rooftop, so that was one of the sweetest tomatoes I had ever eaten, whatever he grew that year. I don't know how he grew it, but it was the sweetest. Like in the Philippines, tomatoes are a fruit. Like we eat them as a fruit because they're just that sweet. And we eat them like an apple. It's only in when I came to the US that I was like, it's you put salt on it, it's a vegetable. It's kind of weird. I wasn't big into vegetables because it wasn't something we ate in my culture. How you doing, Healy? Can you hear me
I think
now?
I'm back. Let me
Yay.
know if you hear and see me better.
Yes, I see you way clearer, and definitely the voice is there.
Okay, so maybe going out and coming back in a couple times, that's what
Yeah.
did it. But I'm interested in your story. I was trying to listen, so please continue to share.
Oh no. Let's see. So yeah, my stepdad, he did a few tomatoes, and they were so good. And then obviously you go through the school years and you don't do much, gardening for a while. And then after I got married, we moved. Well, we moved a few times, but once we finally got into a space with it was like a manufactured home, one of those trailer what do they call them? Mobile home type homes. We had we had bought a piece of land with a mobile home already on it, so we were able to live on that. But it was just like it was a terrible piece of land because it was basically just like hill. So there was like a pad for where the house was, and then it was just downhill straight from there. So the little backyard that it had, the former owner had a little tiny bed, like a 4x8 type. It was all full of weeds,
Mhm,
but I found it, and I did a little cultivating, and I grew a few things in it. So that was what was that? That was more than 20 years ago. And then we ended up with our next house, and that had more yard. But the soil there was terrible, and it had been run over by all sorts of equipment. So it was packed, so packed with clay. And I
mhm,
didn't know anything about composting or anything back then, so I wasn't like building up the soil or anything. But so I would just, buy a couple of bags of soil, plunk my tomatoes in, and they would grow. And they weren't
mhm.
anything stupendous, but I was still so proud that I could still grow stuff even in garbage conditions. And And then now I came here and was able to learn a little bit more through YouTube. And during the pandemic, all that stuff just bombarded us. So I was able to learn through everybody how to compost, how to make your soil better, and how to just take care of plants in general. And now here I am sharing my my daily adventures with everybody on YouTube. Yeah, because it's a lonely space, especially during the pandemic. So finding YouTube and finding a community was really important then. And I'm glad I'm still doing it.
That's right. I definitely agree with that. Did you already share like your growing zone and where you are? Because when I started talking, I don't even remember what I was talking about. I was just trying to fill in the empty space until I
Yeah.
got myself together.
Yeah. I forgot, but I heard you say my growing zone. It is six.
Yeah.
It's 6B now, but I still just say six because it gets super cold. It gets below, whatever the threshold is for 6B. So it's just six. And I live slightly above sea level, so my microclimate stays colder than down the hill. Just a few miles away. People have blooms way before I do. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, let's see, what else am I?
Now,
6B.
see, but that's not to interrupt you, but just to say that's something that I think we should hit on in our next live stream or in a subsequent live stream. It's not just the zone, like the whole number,
Mm-hmm.
or even, like that half zone where the A or the B, but it's
Right.
also the microclimate because I'm in 10B/11A, here in Southern California. But where I live, you can literally go 4 or 5 blocks,
Mm.
sometimes less than that, and be in a completely different microclimate, even though we're still, 10B,
Yeah.
11A, whatever you want to call it, but completely different. So I'm glad you brought that up because
Yeah.
that's something I think we should talk about in the future.
Yeah, definitely. It upsets me because I'm like, why do they have stuff and I
Mm-hmm.
don't? It's not fair. But yeah, definitely. Plus, I'm on a mountain, so like I get sunset, not sunset, but the sun disappears way earlier also for me than the
Uh,
people on the other side of the mountain who have way more afternoon light than they do morning light. So the sun's positioning in the sky also contributes quite a bit. Um,
okay.
we are we're pretty we get a fair amount of rain, and like we get a little bit of droughtiness in the summer, but for the last few years it's been pretty rainy, like annoyingly so, because I got a lot of runoff where I live here. The summers are pleasant, you get a few days in the hundreds, but not anywhere near where people are dying or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what else? Yeah, the winters get pretty cold. We get below freezing. Oh, below freezing, like way below freezing. Like we get into the below 5 degrees. We get into that, and then you get the wind chill of even less than that. Exactly.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
And yeah, it's not as bad as like what, Minnesota or Canada or wherever, but still
Mm-hmm.
terrible. Terrible is terrible.
And I know in Southern California where I live, it's we have very mild winters.
Mm.
And this winter actually was not as cool as it had been even the past 1 or 2 years.
Mm.
So to me, that means more pest pressure
Nah.
for the spring and the summer because the warmer it is, that's more that the eggs laid, by
Mm.
these pests in the
Yeah.
fall and over the winter will last and be viable into the spring and into the summer. So here, our warmest weathers where I am, it's a couple of days where we might get to 90, but we're probably, mid 80s
Mm.
would be
Nice.
like our high, like the hottest temperature. And then in the winter, if you want to call it that, I think probably the lowest, And I mean, of course, I'm inside in my bed sleeping, so I don't feel it. But I'll say at the very lowest, maybe 35,
Uh-huh.
and that's like an extreme low. It's normally in the 40s,
Hmm.
so not a huge temperature range,
Right.
but that's why we can grow almost year round, which is why it's difficult for me to stick to a plan and say, I'm going to plant this month. I'm going to sow these seeds this month. I have become spoiled with the weather, and I know pretty much I can throw seeds year round, and something is going to spring up.
Right.
Um, I'm trying to discipline myself to say, okay, let's plant, I don't know, cucumbers. I'm gonna do that, specifically this month or this 2 week time frame or whatever. I always seem to be behind. Um, and I just end up, throwing the seeds, at whatever time.
Right.
Now, Joy, let us know. So do you start seeds? Do you direct sow? Are you indoor gardening, outdoor gardening? Like, what are you doing now?
All of the above.
All of the above.
That's right. So, yeah, I definitely need to sow indoors first because, less of a season, particularly for okra, eggplant, peppers. Tomatoes do okay even on their own if they sprout out of the ground, self seeding. But
Mhm.
for those other more heat loving plants, I need to start those early. Corn. I can direct sow corn like mid mid June and still get a harvest at the end of the summer. So that's
Yeah.
something. What else? This week is warm ish. It's gonna be in the 40s and 50s here. So I'm gonna start my winter sowing. So I do some
Mhm.
winter sowing in the jugs, and then yeah, my basement is starting to get full. So I need to like shuffle plants around, and I still got a boatload of stuff to start.
So what do you have right now in your basement?
So for now, I've got onions are a must. Um, with the onion families, chives. I've got fennel, which I'm trying for the first time, and then the herbs: dill, cilantro, parsley. What else? Artichoke, which takes a long time. I have yet to get a artichoke fruit or flower,
Mhm.
flower. So I started that way earlier this year than I have in the past because I'm hoping this will be my year for artichoke. And
Mhm.
then what else do I have? I got some like mints, oregano, thyme. I think. Oh, and chia seeds. I buy chia seeds, so I'm like, I can
Uh-huh.
grow chia seeds. I'm gonna grow chia seeds. So I've got a whole
Yeah.
bunch of chia plants down there too.
Now that's so what I'm doing. When I first moved where I am right now, I tried to do indoor seed starting, but I was doing it with soil instead of with a
Oh,
soilless medium.
soilless, right?
So the gnats and the
Mm-hmm.
the bugs and the this and the that. So yes, I am relegated to only and fully doing everything outside. So even if I do a seed start, because normally I just direct sow. I just say, okay, hey, it seems like it's warm enough for this plant. I just dropped the seeds outside. I initially was growing in ground,
Mm-hmm.
but I have a very clay heavy soil.
Okay.
And if things grew, they did. I'm not gonna lie to you. Things grew, but I just didn't feel like I could grow as much as what I wanted to. And I was growing a lot. So then I decided, okay, we're gonna do raised beds. So I set up some raised beds,
Mm-hmm.
and you can look at some of my videos from, back in I think 2020 2021 is when I first started showing my gardening on YouTube.
Yeah.
Of course, I had been planning from before then, but you can look and see, okay, I have these, DIY raised beds, filling them up with a bazillion cubic feet of soil, and growing like that. And then I decided, okay, I'm going to do buckets. But the point is, everything that I do is outside. So even though we have, um, very good weather, is still I'm still like constrained by the elements. So I
Mhm.
don't have like the heat mats. I don't have a indoor growing space. Everything I do is outside. And I'm actually I'm looking outside right now at my
Oh,
the flowers, the seeds that I sowed probably months ago, and I'm just now starting to see something. So whereas you have your basement and you can do some indoor,
yeah.
growing, and I'm glad that you have that. I'm happy for you. I wish I had a space inside, but I don't have a basement and I don't have an extra room, where I could do that. Of course, I would use a soil less mixture.
Mhm.
So either peat moss or coconut coir. Some people use perlite and vermiculite, but as long as it doesn't have soil, that'll take away. I won't have to worry about the gnats and the bugs so much. But I do everything outside. And right now, I mean, technically, I don't really think I have anything new. I just have the stuff that's been kind of growing since last year. I have the remnants of the soil experiment that I
Mhm.
did. The seeds or soil experiment. I have the remnants of those, but those little plants, they still in the egg carton, so they are dwindling away. I never up potted them.
Oh no.
Yeah, so but I have starter cups and starter trays. I'm real big into repurposing and
Mhm.
reusing and DIY and all of that kind of stuff. But um, I would say you definitely have the advantage, being able to start inside where you can control the environment and
Mhm.
then get you off to a good head start. So by the time you do put, your plants and herbs, fruit, whatever outside, they already strong and probably able to handle whatever pest pressure or weather or wind,
Yeah.
that might be going on when you actually plant outside.
Right. And I had to learn that you can't just like put a seed in the soil and expect it to just be fine. You got to make sure it has enough light, enough water, enough humidity, enough breeze so that it's strong. So
Mm-hmm.
it's definitely been a huge learning curve. Whereas when you plant outside, you don't have to worry about all that. It either lives or it dies. But if it lives, it's going to know what to do on its own. And you don't have to baby it for months trying to figure it out.
Kind of like
So
that, kind of some tough love, kind of.
exactly. Which I like that philosophy better. We can switch places.
We, oh no, it's too, it's too cold. I can't do it. I'm allergic to cold weather. I am. I promise you. I promise you. And I've lived in cold weather places, and I I did not enjoy it. I will watch snow on TV. Like I don't even want to be inside and the snow is outside. I'll
Right.
watch snow on TV, and I might wear a sweater watching the snow on the television.
Right.
So there was something else there was something else you said and I wanted to ask you about it. Oh, okay. So for me, I am basically growing just for myself, just locals, so a few tomato seeds, one or two cucumber, whatever. So I'm just growing for myself. So even though I have what I consider a small backyard garden space, it's enough for me because I'm only growing for myself. But Miss Joy, tell us why you garden and how are you growing and your scale.
Yeah. So, in the beginning, I had all these seeds, in these packets. And I'm like, I'm never going to get through all this because, I
Hmm.
started off small and I'm like, what am I going to do with all these seeds? So I was like, I'm going to sell them. I'm going to sell
Hmm.
them. So luckily, there's like a community center down the road that I was able to find as my place. Because otherwise, I'd have to pay like a fee. I mean, it's not a big deal, but the fees sometimes are exorbitant, like at the farmers markets.
Oh
For
yeah, yeah.
and if you're just starting out, you don't want to shell out $50 for a table. You might not
Right,
get that
right.
back. So luckily, there's this community center that was only charging like a donation, so I give them like $10 or something. And yeah, so that's where my insanity came from, started, that I was able to just like dump all the seeds, see which one comes up, and then partition them. Oh my God. Like, I don't even know how I do it every year where I put all these plants because it's just like my house pukes up plants in April and May. It's just so. I, luckily, like your brassicas, you can put them outside because they're okay and just keep them like slightly covered at night. But yeah, I've been doing a lot of shuffling, like in the windowsills and investing in the lights. And so I do
Hmm.
wish I was able to like just grow for myself. And I might do that again someday, but the this feeling of needing to like plant a lot of plants and selling them, and not even to make money because I don't really make any money. I could barely like break even. But
Hmm.
it's just it fills me with joy to be like this project that makes money.
Yeah, yeah. Because I tell you what, if you're waiting for YouTube monetization, I
Yeah,
mean,
no.
so Gina has joined us or dropped in. Thank you so
Hi,
much. I
Gina.
appreciate you. And this is Joy and I were just talking about our gardening experiences, living literally on two different coasts. I'm in Southern California, she's in New York. And so we just talking about, how we came into gardening, what we're doing, how we garden. This is our first kind of like intro live stream, and we hope to do some more. I think we got some kinks worked out, especially on my end with the audio video. So, we're just talking about something that we're passionate about, gardening. So we definitely thank you for joining us. Appreciate you. Now,
Yes.
something that I wanted to I wanted to say, well, it's so much to say about gardening, but
Oh.
I'm gonna tell you this. So yesterday, I went outside and I had some help. So I try to get, my big projects and stuff, done when I have the help. So in ground, I have three fruit trees. I
Mm-hmm.
have a dwarf Meyer lemon tree. I have uh, it maybe it's like a half dwarf or something, a Fuji apple tree,
Okay.
and then I have a cherry tree. Now they are well established, in the ground. I have a matching cherry tree that's in a pot, because the type of cherry tree I have, the mini royal is in the ground, and I have a matching royal lead cherry tree that's in a pot, but it is not doing well at all, and I'm probably gonna have to buy another tree.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of, it's a little sad because trees are not cheap. And
Right.
I bought my trees from, well, that particular tree I brought it from a nursery, because when I first got here in the place where I am now, I went to Home Depot. They have trees 30, $35,
Right.
$40, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get that, I'm gonna get that. But when you go to a nursery and you
Uh-huh.
buy fruit trees, it is not 30, it's not 35, it's not 40. It's,
Right.
it could be a pretty penny. So,
Right.
um, but yesterday we went through and I did a little pruning. I'm looking at my cherry tree right now, and I did a decent amount of pruning. My understanding is that you're not supposed to prune more than a third of your
Yeah.
tree, per season. So like well, not per season, per year.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely did at least a third. The next time I do a video and y'all see that cherry tree, you're gonna be like, wow. But I was behind schedule. It started budding, and
Oh.
I prefer to prune my fruit trees in the winter time. Well, the winter that we have, but when they're dormant.
Yeah.
Um, and it started waking up. I have flowers on my cherry tree.
Oh my
I
gosh.
have stone fruit in pots on patio row. And if you're familiar with my gardening videos, patio row. I have an August Pride peach, and I have I forgot the brand or the title, but it's a nectar plum. And I mean, there's many leaves and many flowers on it. So everything woke up and I wasn't ready. But
Mm-hmm.
that goes back to how I was saying that the our winter was not, it wasn't that cold at all. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't that cold at all. And Nikki, you right, the fruit trees, $70. See, and that's what I was gonna say too. The prices of the fruit trees are going up because when I brought the fruit trees that I bought, like that Meyer lemon, the dwarf Meyer lemon, I think I got that for like 35 or $40, but that was back in 2018.
Mm.
I think um after 2020, can we say the C word? Like, is it,
I
we
don't know.
it's a live stream, right? All they gonna do is take it down. So basically, after COVID hit and a lot more people started, gardening or growing or
Yeah.
just, buying trees and stuff, I saw how the prices hiked up.
Yeah.
They definitely did. I mean, I guess I can't be mad at the businesses. They saw an opportunity
Right.
and I feel like they exploited it. But I'm just so glad that more people are at least trying,
Yeah.
trying to, just try their hand at gardening. I remember growing up and I'm from New Orleans and we used to buy, the bag of red beans. Used to
Hmm.
buy the bag of red beans. And I remember I used to always pull out like 4 or 5 of the red beans straight from the grocery store out the bag and I would plant them in the ground
Oh.
in the backyard. And they grew.
Right. Right.
It grew too. So did you do anything like that? Because I heard you sharing some of your story like growing up and with tomatoes and stuff. But did you ever take, like either food from the grocery store or seeds from something that you ate and then put it in the ground and tried to grow it?
Um, I can't remember like in the past, but I know recently I took mung beans. We eat mung beans a lot, and I just took that out of the bag and plunked it in soil that I was testing to make sure it didn't have any weird funky chemicals in it. And yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that grew, and I grew that in the garden. As a child, yeah, from being in the Philippines, pretty much anything you throw in the ground, like in California, pretty much anything
Mm-hmm.
you throw in the ground grows and becomes something. So it was never a problem with that. But yeah, it, as long as you have the like fertile soil, which some of those places have, you could pretty much just throw anything in the ground.
And then it'll come up. Yeah, now see, now Nikki is saying how, her tree is going on 4 years and no fruit. And then Gina said, her cherry tree didn't put on fruit until she got a companion.
Mm.
The trees that I have, they have to have a companion, but they are like the best companions for each other. So the mini royal and the royal Lee, but those varieties are better grown in our area because they require less chill hours.
Uh-huh.
You don't normally see or hear of cherries being grown in Southern California, and it's because cherries require a certain amount of chill hours where it has to be cold. They have to go through a winter, in order to produce the cherries and stuff in,
The spring.
well, I'ma say, so my spring and summer because I get cherries early. So I've gotten cherries off of my mini royal cherry
Oh,
tree. Um, but that's when my royal lead was looking healthy. Now not so healthy, but that's why I'm thinking while my mini royal tree is waking up, I might, if I can't, I'm gonna, how you scratch the bark
mm,
and stuff and see if it's still alive and all of that.
yeah.
If it's not, or if it's not something that I feel I can, kind of rejuvenate, I have to hurry up and buy another cherry tree, or
Right.
else the whole season will go by and then I won't get cherries.
Right.
So Nick, oh, your cherry is 4 and 1. Joy, can you see the comments?
No, I cannot.
Okay, because I'm putting them on the screen. You know how
Yeah.
like you'll see like the text under. Is that
Yeah.
because are you on your phone or on your laptop?
I'm on my laptop, but
Okay.
I didn't get the. Usually there's a bar, and I didn't get that.
Well, no, not even. So if you look under our pictures, do you see Nikki's comment right now about her cherry
Yeah.
tree?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Okay, that's what I was talking
Oh,
about.
okay.
Yeah, those. So Nikki, so the 4 and 1. So what's the four types of cherries? Or what are the four fruits? Because I want to know that. I so last year I had
Oh no, you froze.
peaches.
Oh, you
Yeah,
did
it
peaches.
was for kind of something, and I wanted that tree. I wanted that tree, But y'all know, and if you, I look, if I get another tree, I'm probably gonna have to, I don't know, I'm gonna have to give up something to get another one,
Right.
and I just, you know, no, no, I can't do it.
So real, even though I have a lot of land property, it's not like optimal
Oh, it's
places.
beautiful. I watched your video. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, girl, but I watched when you did your snow walk from last week or a couple weeks ago or whatever. I was like, wow, and you just kept walking and walking, and when I was like, wow, I take like 3 steps and it's done. I like it's over with,
No.
but
But there's not like a lot of optimal places to actually plant stuff. So
mm-hmm.
there's like this giant septic field where it's the sunniest location and you'd think you'd want to put all kinds of things there, but it's a septic field, so you can't put anything there because the
Oh
roots would
yeah.
break up the pipes and stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
then even below that is where all the like sand, they put in sand and stuff, so you would have to
Yeah.
bring it up, so that would require, you know, a lot of chucking in soil to get it up above that layer. So
Mm-hmm.
there are things I can do, but if I wasn't going to do any of that, then it limits my ability to grow more fruit trees, which I would love to. So right now we only have a couple of apples, and we tend to buy them like bare root, which is you only get like this much. So it takes a lot longer to get them
Yes.
before they fruit. So we have a pear, apples, pear, and I got a couple of big cherries. Like this is only their second season coming up, so I don't know if they'll flower. I mean, they'll fruit this year. That would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I'm slowly integrating the fruiting things. Like I have definitely berries. I got the raspberries, and the blackberry keeps dying on me, so I'm still keeping trying on the blackberry.
Yeah.
And I got what was that? Currant. But it was terrible. Like the first
Oh
year
wow.
anyway. Maybe it'll be better than this year, but it was last year. The fruit that I got was disgusting. I'm like, I thought this was supposed to be good.
Supposed to be good. Yeah, yeah.
So hopefully it'll even out. But otherwise, there's a lot more berries I'd like to at least get on the property, because at least berries aren't as finicky as trees. Like you can put them in shadowier spaces or under bigger trees that are established already, and they
Mm-hmm.
do okay on their own. Whereas your apples and your peaches, they like need to be a diva and have their own space.
Have their own. Now let me ask you this. So you said that you have berries and stuff. What about grapes?
I just did, yeah, last summer I just planted grapes. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
hoping I'm gonna see how they do this year. I hope they made it through the winter.
So I have my little makeshift girl 2 plants, and I have them in a 15-gallon container.
Mhm.
So I have them in a stand, and I have, I believe it's Mars grapes, like potted on this side and kind of growing up over the mesh ladder to the other side. And
Nice.
then I have the Thompson seedless grape on this side and trying to grow up over to the other side. But I did not prune the canes
Mm.
before they got hard and established and everything. And they started growing all which kind of ways which they wanted to grow.
Yeah.
I just checked yesterday and I have new leaves and things growing out of the canes, but I need to move the pot.
Ah.
So I think I think I might be might I don't know. I might have to buy some more grapes. But the bare root thing, I do like the bare roots. I got bare root berries,
Mhm.
and I should have known because I got them from grocery outlet.
Oh.
And I don't know if you have that, but that's a discount grocery store.
Mhm.
And when I got home, it's supposed to be a bare root, which meaning that they should have some root to the stick.
Yeah.
Girl, I pulled that thing out the bag. It had all kind of dirt, and everything. It was wrapped beautifully and perfectly. And when I unraveled the bag in the package, when I tell you it was a stick, it was a stick and it was a dead stick. It had
Oh.
0 roots. Now I
Oh.
was able to bring it back to the
Go. Come back. You're frozen again. Um, am I still on?
Still? Okay, we're back.
Okay.
I think
Okay. Yes.
we went out. But I was saying I tried to get one that had a bud of one leaf,
Yeah.
something to show that the root was alive. And I planted them in 5-gallon buckets because that's what I had at the time. And they still I got nothing.
Oh,
So
okay.
I had a raspberry, blackberry, something. I think I got like 4 or 5 different varieties. I was so excited, 7.99,
Hmm.
and I wasted probably probably about 35 or $40. It
Yeah.
just it was wasted. Now
Oh.
Nikki says that because she was saying that she had a 4-in-1 cherry tree. So Stella, Black Tartarian,
Hmm.
and Van Cherry. So is it that those cherries, like the blossoms or the blooms from those cherries, they will fertilize each other in the same tree, and that's why you only need one tree? Or do you
Yeah.
think it would help if you still bought another tree
I think that's what it's supposed to do. Just pollinate from one flower to the other to the other.
to be all? Yeah, but Nikki is saying that it's been 4 years, or it's been a few years,
Oh.
and she still doesn't have any cherries. And I think Gina said that too, that sometimes it'll say no, this is self-pollinating, or you only need one, but you still don't get anything until you buy another. So
Oh.
I tried to grow avocados very unsuccessfully. Hi, how
Hi,
you
Shane.
doing? Thank you for joining us in this chat. It was supposed to be 30 minutes that we said, and it's like 46 minutes and we still going. But I mean, hey.
We're
Oh,
good.
you saw flowers. So Nikki said that she saw flowers. So you know what?
Okay.
That might be a thing. This book I read, and I'm not trying to go off on a tangent here, but this book that I read, it said don't chop the tree down until after the 5th year.
Oh,
So,
okay.
give it 5 years, and
Yeah.
it is the book. If you know, you know. But that book that I read, it said, give a tree 5 years. So if you don't see anything after 5 years, it's something, nothing probably gonna happen. But if
Right.
you seeing flowers, then I would say, hey, give it a chance.
Hmm.
Definitely give it a chance.
Yeah. And even going back to your grapes, they can be cut back pretty severely. From I've seen other people cut them back, and they come back
Hmm.
as long as the root's good. So I think you'll be okay moving them.
And you know what? That's what I'm hoping. But I'm like, how much? Because if it breaks, or if I see, hey, I have to cut it to move the pot. I mean, it has grown like from one side to the other, and that stand is 8 feet wide.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, can I cut it? Basically just to the main original cane. So
Right.
like maybe just 2 or 3 feet high, because it's 8 feet across, but it's probably about 15 feet. Once you
Yeah.
count the whole curve and all of that kind of stuff, could
Yeah.
I cut it back, to maybe 3 feet
Mm-hmm.
in order for me to move the pot, or is that too much and it's gonna kill it? I
Right.
don't really have any experience growing grapes. I did actually get grapes last year off of the Mars, and I went out there and they were so cute, kind of small. Now that's
Mm-hmm.
one thing too. I also noticed that sometimes the homegrown vegetables, they don't look like the grocery store.
Right.
They're not all shiny and every little thing is perfect or whatever, but
Right.
it's real to me, and that's why I prefer it. I
Yeah.
had grapes. I was so happy. I was like, oh, look, I got the grapes. I got the grapes. I left them. I left them on the vine. The next day I went out there. I had 3 bunches. All 3 bunches said, look for me. All 3 bunches was gone. And
No.
I just noticed that I had a lot of birds flying
Yeah.
around. My vineyard, girl. That's a two great plants though. That's my vineyard though. That's my vineyard. So
Yeah.
Nikki says as long as the roots are intact, it should regrow. And I would be happy with that. I wouldn't mind if okay, hey, I lost this season. Because I love grapes now, and when they start coming in, like I'm definitely gonna eat them. I'm definitely gonna eat them because I grow to eat. I'm trying. Okay, let's change this topic.
Okay.
Flowers. Tell me what you think about flowers.
I have them. I like them for no the color pop, but I also like that some of them have medicinal purposes or
Mm-hmm.
face like calendula. I love the calendula because I can use it for my skin balms and salves and whatever,
Mm-hmm.
or make tinctures out of it. So yeah, and lavender. I have lavender. Like there's all these
Mm-hmm.
important plants that I just gotta have them. I just gotta grow them.
I agree with you. I'm trying to get into the flower zone. I know Nikki. Nikki has flowers.
Mm-hmm.
Shani, is it Shani or Shani? I hate mispronouncing people's name.
It's hard.
But I know, do y'all, and Gina, if she's still in here, do y'all have flowers? Do y'all grow flowers? So this is the thing. Again, I'm gonna just blame it on being from New Orleans. I'm greedy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to grow something if I can't eat it.
Uh-huh.
I know that there are edible flowers.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know that I need flowers for pollinators and for the color pop and all of that. I do. I agree, with all of that about, let me see, probably 2 or 3 seasons ago now. And I'm not sure if I even showed them on my channel. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I got the flower seeds from the Dollar Tree, $1.25 tree. And I just, sprinkled them in a bucket, and they grew, they were wonderful, whatever, but I just had them in maybe 1 or 2 pots. And they were good for the time I had them. They must have been annuals because when they died, like that was a wrap. I have flower seeds. I've sown a few more now, but I just I don't know. I haven't been invested in flower seeds
Mm.
because most of the vegetables and stuff that I grow, they produce
They
flowers.
flower.
Maybe not as colorful, maybe not as pretty, but
Yeah.
they serve the purpose for pollinating the stuff that I'm sowing.
Right.
But I'm getting more into the flowers. I want to see more color. I want to, I have to find somewhere to put them. I bought those the little containers, that like hook on your fence. They
Yeah.
have like the little hook. So I have those, and that's what I have the flower seeds in now. They on my patio table that I'm looking at. Like I said, I barely see something coming up. I want to see something germinate before I brave the spiders and everything else that's growing on my fence to, hook the little basket.
Okay.
Um but I want to do that. I am. I'm trying to get more into flowers. I see flowers in like everybody else garden. Pretty much everybody else garden have some flowers. I'm gonna get there, y'all. I'm gonna get there for real.
I like the flowers that you can step on, like the ones that are just like carpeting the ground. So I
Oh
would
yeah,
love
yeah.
like more of that. Like
Mm-hmm.
creeping thyme is one of them. Alyssum, I think, is good too. I hear
Mm-hmm.
alyssum all the time. But yeah, the low carpety flowers are so cool.
Now, what I've been seeing in several videos, y'all, I'm subscribed to so many gardener channels. Like it's ridiculous. But for whatever reason, this year seemed to be Johnny jump ups.
Oh,
The
okay.
violas, Johnny
Yeah.
jump up. I've been
Yeah.
seeing a lot of people talking about that flower, sowing those seeds. They look pretty. I bought some. I think I got them from either Home Depot or Lowe's. I haven't sown the seeds yet. But I did get them. They're pretty, kind of, I think purple and
Hmm.
white
Yeah.
and like a little bit yellow. But yeah,
Yeah.
Johnny jump up. I've been hearing a lot about that. So I'm like, maybe I need to just jump on the bandwagon, and then get me some Johnny jump up. So I have the seeds. Have you grown those?
I
Anybody in the
have.
chat, y'all grown Johnny jump ups?
I have, but very like I haven't really taken good care of it. So I grow it, I plunk it somewhere, and then I forget about it, and then it just dies.
Are they like self-sufficient, or are they picky? Like, do you have to really be on top of them? Like, can
the
can I just sow the seeds and
I think
in some fertile potting mix or whatever, and just make sure I water them and just
yeah,
leave them?
yeah, I think you can. because I do have them growing like wild. There were some here. I think it's the same thing. It looks exactly the same. So I think they're the same,
Mm-hmm.
but there are some wild ones that just comes up every year. So I think you'll be good. You should
Okay, yeah.
definitely. It's an easy flower, I think, for you.
Yeah, because for right now, I need flowers where I can just like sow it and forget it, just for now, right? While
Hmm.
as I ease myself into, adding flowers to my garden. I think the main thing for me though is like, where do I put it? And I'm kind of looking around at my yard, and really all I have left is, just the fence. And I tested that little hook because when I saw the basket in the Dollar Tree, I was like, man, is this hook gonna be, wide enough to actually fit over the
Oh, okay.
fence?
Hmm.
And it is. So we're gonna see. If y'all see them like hooked on the fence, it probably means that they made it, but they are gonna have to survive on their own because the spiders and stuff grow, on the fence. So once I get the strength and the nerve and the bravery to like, hook them on there, like that's
Yeah.
I'm gonna be watering it, like on the shower setting and just whoosh, they're gonna have to survive on their own.
Yeah.
Also, Nick, okay, so easy growers, that's good. That's what I need. So we are coming up on an
Yeah.
hour. What do you think,
Awesome.
Joy? How you think this first live stream with what you think?
I think we did good.
I think we did good. I had to work out my audio and my video, but I had to go out and come back in a couple
Hmm.
times. But
Yeah.
but then that worked. So I think that that's well. We did have some very lovely ladies join us today. And if I missed you, so I saw Shani, I saw Nikki, and I saw Gina. If it's anybody else in the chat that I missed, welcome. Thank you for joining us today. We definitely appreciate it.
Yes.
Um, we want to do this again. We definitely
Hmm.
want to do it again and maybe go in depth on, some particular
Something.
topics.
Yeah.
um I think that is very interesting to hear from people growing. I mean, we are literally, she is in, New York, and I am in California. I mean, opposite, and you can't get, any further well, I don't know, maybe if you were in Maine,
Right.
but I mean basically the opposite, ends of the country, two
Right.
totally different zones. um we're growing. I'm not for different reasons, but we have differences of, what we're growing and what we're doing and stuff. And I think that it's interesting to hear that, um from people like at the same time on the live
Hmm.
stream. So
Yeah.
thank you so much,
Thanks,
Nikki. I
Nikki.
appreciate it. All right, Joy. So, take us out. What's your final thoughts? Like, what's
Catch me at Joy of the Garden and Home. I'm doing chats on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern. I'm gonna do those for few more a few more times, and then the season's gonna ramp in, and so I'll probably ease off on the live streams. But otherwise, you can catch me. I haven't been super active on my other channel, Joy Unhinged, where I do other topics. I have a skincare video that I'm working on. I have an unboxing of an Asher haul coming up. So there's that. Otherwise, 2025 is going to be a good year, way better than 2024. So catch us,
yes.
grow all the stuff.
Thank you so much. And then I have that's Joy. So did you have your ticker thing that you
Now
can put?
I didn't set anything up. I just
Didn't
like
say okay, yeah. So I have all of my contact and stuff information down at the bottom. It's been scrolling. I was trying to see how to turn it off because I just wanted to scroll like a few times and then
all
that was
right.
it because I wanted us to swap off. But this is my channel, Healy Means. It is a multi-topic, multi-content, channel. It started off natural hair, and I do unboxings and the vlog in a car, road trips, and of course my gardening. But this is where I'm at. I'm not on any other platforms. I do have a Pinterest account that y'all I can't even remember. I don't even know what the login is to that anymore. So I'm only here on YouTube. Joy, are you on any other platforms?
I do have an Instagram account, Joy of the Garden, which I rarely use. I also repost my videos on Rumble in case I lose them on YouTube for some
Mm-hmm.
reason. But yeah, so Rumble has duplicates of my YouTube
Okay.
content.
And you know what? I may have set up a Rumble account, but I'm not sure. If I did, there's nothing on it. If I didn't, I was thinking about doing it just because with YouTube
It's
it is
always
what it is
tricky.
with YouTube. And I just,
Yeah.
like you said, just in case something happened, I wanted to have another place, another platform,
Mhm.
to put my videos. And I'm, all of the other platforms, I'm not really, into those. But so mainly, for right now, just find me on YouTube. We definitely appreciate your time. If you are joining us for the replay and you got through the first like 10 or
First
15 minutes,
minutes.
but we were still trying to work it out. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for sticking with us. I appreciate it. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to both of our channels. And Joy, are we doing this again?
Of course. We got
We
lots
are
more to
gonna do
talk
it
about.
again. We are gonna do it again. We don't really have a set time and schedule or whatever set up, but look for us again. And I started to name this 6 and 10, just
Okay.
because of our zones. I don't
Nice.
think it showed. I don't think it populated, but it's like
No.
6 and 10 gardeners or something like that. But we definitely appreciate your time, everyone who was here for the live, everyone who's coming in for the replay. We definitely appreciate you. So I'm Healy Means,
I'm Joy of the Garden and Home.
and we will see you next time.
Bye bye.
Bye. Now I'm putting the end stream, y'all.